It's 2018, and if your car's turboed and you're not using electronic boost control, what's the point? All kidding aside, manual boost controllers are simple, effective, and most of all, cheap. However, there are some features you might want to add, such as boost by gear, multiple boost maps, and adjusting boost on the fly, which you could achieve with an electronic boost controller. So today, we'll be installing a 3-port MAC solenoid valve that will be driven by the Megasquirt 2. Now, Megasquirt 2 does not natively support multiple boost maps, so we are going to work around that so that we could have 2 settings: low boost, which will be our wastegate spring, and then high boost, which will probably be around 10 to 12 psi. So all of that coming right up. Alright, so here's the kit I got off Amazon. Basically includes the MAC valve as well as all the fittings and line that you'll need to hook it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is just unpackage everything and then mount our valve somewhere away from the heat. Thinking over there, and utilize those existing bolt holes. So here's our 3-port MAC valve. Connections are pretty straightforward. You have port 1 on this side. This is just going to be for the excess pressure bleed off. So as you can see, there's a little filter in there. You don't need to connect anything on this port. You have port 2. This is going to go to your wastegate. This is basically going to tell your wastegate when to open. And then you have port 3. This is your boost signal. So this is going to come from wherever you tapped your boost pressure source, usually the compressor housing. And then in terms of electrical, you have one of these wires is your 12-volt switch ignition, and then your other is the pulse width modulated output from your ECU in terms of duty cycle. Polarity of these wires doesn't matter. So now that we know what to hook up, let's get this mounted and also get our connections threaded into here. Alright, so the kit I bought actually has all the fittings that you'll need, and there's a bunch of extras, so you could pretty much hook up whatever configuration you want. I'm going to use a straight connector on my boost signal source, and the other cool thing is these connectors already have thread sealant on them. If you're using other connectors or whatever, I always use thread sealant on these type of connections. And then for the vent port, the kit also includes another little filter right here. So as I said before, I think I'm going to mount the valve with these 2 existing holes right here. I am going to attach it to a bracket first, maybe like some piece of scrap aluminum, just so the valve isn't mounted directly onto here. So let's make something real quick. Alright, and there we have our mount for our MAC valve. So now we just have to plumb in our 2 lines. Here's the signal going to our MBC currently. What we'll do is remove this line and hook it up to the 3rd port. Alright, so as you can see, we have our solenoid valve mounted, and we have both of our lines connected to it. We have our signal source right here, and then our output is going underneath this wrap to our wastegate right there. So up next, we'll just continue working on this by installing our connections. So 1 is going to be our 12-volt switched power source, and then 2 is going to be the pulse width modulated output from the Megasquirt. To get our switched 12-volt power, we're basically going to use the same source that we're using for these 2 gauges. So what I'm going to do is just take off this console like we've done a million times before. And I'm also going to remove this HVAC console. I think what we're going to do is put a switch panel, and that's what we're going to use for our toggle for the boost pressure. Alright, so I just separated this faceplate from the HVAC unit, and the reason I'm doing that is just because I could utilize these mounting tabs so I won't really have to build any type of bracket to hold my switches and whatever else I want to put on this panel. The other cool thing I discovered is this area that holds the AC button is actually the perfect size diameter for a gauge. So as you can see, it's a nice tight fit. And then for this area, what I'll do is just attach a piece of aluminum on top right here, so make like a little rectangle. So yeah, let's do that real quick. Alright, so here's the piece. Now I'm just gonna mount it with 4 screws. And now I'll make a cutout for my boost map switch. I think I'll also make another toggle switch to enable or disable launch control. So let's cut these out. And here's the final result. Not perfect, but I think it looks pretty good, and should do what we need. Alright, so this is how we're going to build our little circuit. If this is our solenoid, we have 2 wires. We're going to have 1 wire go to constant 12 volt switched on ignition source. So basically this is going to go to that same power wire that goes to our gauges when the ignition is switched on. The second one is basically our pulse width modulated output for Megasquirt. So if this is our Megasquirt right here, here's our output. What we're going to do is put a switch in line with that. When the switch is activated, it'll basically complete the circuit for our solenoid, and its duty cycle will be modulated by Megasquirt. Otherwise, wastegate will operate as if there is nothing connected to it. So it'll basically boost to its spring pressure. Okay, so we'll just pick which switch we want to use. I'm going to go with this one right here. And we'll have our input from the Megasquirt output will be our center prong. And then this will go to the solenoid. The output for Megasquirt is located on pin 7 of the options connector. Next, we'll open up Tuner Studio and go to Boost Advanced, and then enable Boost Control. We'll make sure our frequency is 19.5 Hz, and we'll also ensure that our Boost Control solenoid is set to the boost pin. Then we'll burn these settings. Alright, now we're going to open up our boost control duty cycle table. This is going to be a little confusing at first, but basically the higher percentage that we put on a cell means more boost. So 100% value here will mean that the wastegate is completely closed, since the solenoid will be venting all of the pressure out through its bleed port. On the flip side, a value of 0 means that the solenoid bleed port will be completely closed, and the feed and the wastegate signal are connected to each other, meaning that the wastegate will open whenever it sees its spring pressure. So just to start off, I'm going to set everything to something reasonably low, like 20. And I'll have to set my X and Y axis as well. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so at this point I have a 20% duty cycle being applied to the solenoid at every cell of my boost control table. So what I'll do is I'll drive around and log and adjust this table until I reach my desired peak boost, as well as my ramp up. So I'll basically set these to 100 when I want the spool to be faster. I don't want to extend that too long as to cause an overboost. So it's going to take some trial and error, and you'll have to do a decent amount of logging until you find the boost control that you are looking for. Alright guys, well it's the next day. As you can tell, I got a haircut. So to summarize what we did last night, we hooked up all of the lines to the solenoid, all electrical connections with our switch in between. We have hooked it up to the boost pin on Megasquirt, and we've also set a static 20% duty cycle in our tune. So what we're going to do right now is just see how that's going to affect peak boost, and then we're going to fine tune that until we hit our desired boost. So I'll report back once everything is done. Alright guys, just got back. Everything is working flawlessly. Basically, when you press the toggle switch to the on position, the solenoid is being activated, and I ended up with a duty cycle around 30% to achieve 12 psi. And then when you turn the toggle switch off, it's running off the wastegate spring, which is around 6 psi. In terms of tuning this, you're going to want to go gear by gear at different throttle positions to achieve your peak boost while not over boosting. So the way I have mine is I'm basically starting at 100, where I know that the turbo isn't going to basically create too much boost, and I'm tapering down to 30% at a higher RPM, higher loads. I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, press that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.